Welcome to Willpower Not Required, the podcast that gives you quick, easy, and effective tips that you can use today to improve your health and help you live your life to the fittest. No willpower or white knuckling required. I'm your host, Lauren Whitfield. Let's get started. Today's tip is to give your gut a break, a 12-hour break to be exact. Plan for a 12-hour fast between the last meal of today and the first meal tomorrow. A 12-hour window of eating followed by a 12-hour window of fasting. For example, if you stop eating at 7:30 p.m., you would aim to have your first meal around 7:30 a.m. the next morning. This type of eating can also be referred to as intermittent fasting or time-restricted feeding. Now, you're not restricting calories here. You are just narrowing the window of time in which you consume them. If you're eating a normal healthy diet during your 12-hour feeding window and you don't have any blood sugar or other medical issues, you will be capable of going without food for 12 hours. There are several other types of intermittent fasting ratios other than 12 and 12. They focus on extending the fasting window to 14, 16, or 20 hours while shortening the eating time accordingly. Even alternate day fasting, where you eat one day and fast the next, as well as extended day fasting, has been popular in recent years. Now, this is a newly researched and somewhat controversial topic, so while the 12-hour fasting window followed by the 12-hour eating window that I'm talking about here has been proven to be a safe and effective eating protocol, I would recommend that you do your own research and speak to your healthcare provider before you implement a different time-restricted eating protocol. So now back to today's episode. Give your gut a 12-hour break overnight. That is, do not consume anything caloric. Water, unsweetened herbal tea, or black coffee is fine, as they don't have an impact on your digestive system or hormone levels. So, why should we do this? Well, the first and most important benefit in my experience is that it helps to curb emotional eating. I find that the time between dinner and bedtime is when most of us snack out of boredom, stress, or habit, and not necessarily for hunger or fuel. If you close the kitchen at a certain time in the evening, you'll be better able to curtail this potentially unhealthy habit. Secondly, as discussed in episode 4 on carbohydrates, go back and listen if you haven't heard it, the release of insulin after you eat stimulates the body to use ingested glucose for fuel. When you don't eat for an extended period of time, 8 to 12 hours depending on the person, your body enters into a fasted state where your insulin levels are low and your body starts to use stored fat as its primary source of fuel. Recent studies have also shown that giving your digestive tract an extended break, at least 12 hours, can lower inflammation in the body, improve immunity, boost brain function, improve hormone control and gut health, and enhance detoxification. Giving your gut a break for 12 hours each day may not only have many potential health benefits, it may also improve your relationship with food, giving you a chance to practice the tip from episode 13, learning to hear and understand your body's hunger and fullness cues. So, if this seems a little daunting, just start small. If you normally eat a snack at 10 p.m., then breakfast at 6 a.m., giving you an 8-hour fasting window, start by extending your fast to 9 hours by pushing your snack a little earlier to 9:30 p.m. and waiting a little later for breakfast until 6:30. Over several days or weeks, continue to move your meals earlier in the evening or later in the morning until you're fasting for a full 12 hours. Play around with it and find what works for you. This can be a very flexible way of eating as well. If you're out later in the evening and have a late night snack, then you can push your breakfast later the next day to compensate. Remember, this is a study of one, a study of your body. What works for some might not work for others. We all have different biological makeups and different lifestyles. If you try this out for a little while and find it does not work and makes you feel miserable, revert back to your previous method of eating, fresh with the knowledge that you are eating in the best way for your own body. Willpower not required. Thanks so much for listening. I'd love to hear from you, so send me your tips, questions, or feedback. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Fired Up Fitness Coaching, or email me at willpowernotrequired@firedupfitness.ca. Thanks so much. I look forward to connecting with you.